What's up YouTube, Tom from T.S.H here coming your way, and today we've got a first look video on the Fuji Finepix X100, newly released digital camera from Fuji. It's taken the world by storm. It's retailing in Australia and the US for roughly $1,200. It's sold out and in high demand all around the world, and it's just a fantastic little camera to take. Good for professionals and good for prosumers to use as a secondary or a third camera. It's nice and light, great build quality, and it looks fantastic, and it does take the look of one of Fuji's older film cameras, and also looks like the Leica M9. So this camera here has got a 12.3 megapixel CMOS APS-C sensor. It's got a 23mm fixed prime lens on the front with an equivalent focal range of 35mm after the crop factor, and it's constant. It has a constant aperture f2, so you get a super wide aperture, plenty of light in there, and it's good in low light situations. This is a first look video. I'll talk through the features and I'll show you the camera itself and how it looks, how it feels to hold, and so forth. I'll test it out over the next couple of weeks, and we'll do a full review and post it up on T.S.H here's YouTube and blog site at TextopsHere.net. So without further delay, let's get into the first look video. So that's the Fuji X100 up close and personal. You can see it comes with this nice sort of steel and felt cap there, which I've taken off. It just goes straight on. One thing to note straight up is there's no cord or connection for the cap, so don't lose this one because it will set you a fair bit back to replace it for what it is, so keep that in a safe place. But that's the X100 there. It feels nice and solid to hold. It's got a really nice sort of feel to it. Everything seems like it's in the right place. It's got this nice small elevated grip right here, so it feels good to hold. Two things just before I start off with the walk around for the camera. That little soft touch trigger release is an aftermarket addition there, the red one there, so keep that in mind. And this is a leather Gordy strap from Gordy Straps, so that doesn't come with the camera either. It's a nice little wrist strap. What you do get is a Fuji branded X100 neck strap. I prefer you just have this one on my wrist and go along my days, so I got that one. The wrist strap you do get is it's fine, but it's just not for me. So if we just go along the top, firstly, you can see there Fuji X100. You've got the hot shoe mount for your flash. The actual flash in this X100 is fantastic, so you don't necessarily need a external flash there, but if you're doing a lot of portrait stuff, you can do that to isolate your subject. So here you've got the shutter release dial there. You've got the on-off switch just at the top there. So you've got the on-off switch just there, on, off, and the shutter button. If we take this one out to show you how it looks, that's how it looks without the shutter soft release. And that's where you'll put in your cable release as well if you get one as an aftermarket. You've got your EV compensation dial there, and a function button which you can program to be an ISO or scene selector or whatever it may be. Moving on to the back, you've got a 2.8 inch LCD monitor with a 460,000 dot resolution. Left hand side you've got your dial buttons there, so you've got your play button and your exposure and zoom buttons there, and a view mode for when you do turn it on in terms of what you see on the back screen there. So you can see I've turned it on. You've got all your information there, and you can turn it off so there's no view mode, and it transfers into through the actual scene there. I'm not sure if you can see that all that well. You can see sort of some lines and so forth. That's actually the information relayed. Camera itself is made in Japan, as the sign there says. You've got a little dial button here, left and right. It doesn't continually spin, it's just a left and right dial button. Got more function buttons and the menu button, and a scroll pad there. Also display back, so you can change what you actually see on the back, just like that. And you've got a RAW button there, so you can, if you're set to shoot RAW, permanently. If you push this one, it'll go into a JPEG format for one shot. If you're set to shoot JPEGs as your custom shooting file, you click it, it'll go into RAW for one shot only. On the left hand side, you've got your ports there, HDMI, there you go, HDMI and the USB port as well. Underneath, you have your jack for your tripod there for your mount. Just turn this one off. And then you got your battery and SD card slot. So if we just pull out, there's no SD card in it at the moment, but the battery is a 1700 milliamp hours battery. Fuji film slots right in there. Moving on to the front, you got your viewfinder and your flash, and this button here, or this little trigger here, changes the viewfinder image overlay. So when you're looking through the viewfinder itself, right there, you can get different data overlays. You can have a digital LCD screen overlay, so you're just seeing the actual digital image. You can have your optical image with a overlay of information, which is a revolutionary way of showing you the information, and it's the only camera to have that. So you'll actually be viewing the image through this viewfinder, but you'll have an information overlay electronically over the top of it. And then you also have just a optical viewfinder with no information. So that's it there. That's what that controls. And then you have your 23mm f2 constant aperture prime fixed lens. It's a very sharp lens, and what you do miss out on in terms of options for zooming functions, you gain in the fact that this lens is super sharp and super fast. So good in low light situations, and good in getting good bokeh and so forth. At the top of the lens itself is where you control your aperture, so from f2, f8, f4 and so forth, all the way through into an automatic. So you can set this camera up into automatic shutter, automatic aperture, set the ISO or leave it at automatic, so forth, but it really is made to be used on a manual function, and all the controls are almost analog day type controls, whereas the old film days, and you control everything by the dials, which really appeals to me, and it's got a nice retro feel and a nice retro hold. On the left hand side, you've got your different focusing options, AFC, AFS and manual focus, so you just click it left and right, and then you've got your focusing ring right there at the edge of the lens itself. The camera has a really nice slim profile, so if you put the lens on it, it's nice and slim. It'll even fit in your pocket, and it'll fit in any bag, and it's good to go. It's a fixed LCD screen on the back, so it's not a swivel screen right there. And on the front, one thing I didn't mention, it's got a LED red eye reduction sort of blinking light right there, also used when you put the timer function on. Construction, metal aluminium at the top and the bottoms, really nice solid construction, and you've got this nice sort of textured plastic throughout the body, which feels really good to hold, gives you a bit of grip when you're holding it, and it just really finishes off that retro look. So that's a first look of the Fuji X100. In the review, I'll talk to you about the quality of the images, the performance. I'll go through all the different menu options, and how it all works, how it all gets together, and how it is to actually use, the usability, the battery life and so forth. So keep an eye out for the full review video on techstopshere.net or on the YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to my Twitter account at TechStops to keep up to date with all the latest reviews, giveaways and news. This is Tom from TechStops here. I'll catch you guys next time.